Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mila and I help researchers navigate the process of applying for Marie Curie Fellowships. Today we are focusing on one of the critical parts of your MSCA PF proposal, the suitability and quality of measures, or also known as the Dissemination, Exploitation, and Communication Activities section. And it is in section 2.2. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how to create a compelling dissemination plan that will make your proposal stand out. Let's get started. This section of your MSCA PF proposal is where you outline how you will share your research findings with various audiences. This section is crucial because it demonstrates to evaluators that you have a clear plan for ensuring your research has a broad impact. So how do you go about writing a strong dissemination plan? Let's break it down into manageable steps. First, let's understand what dissemination means in the context of MSCA PF. Dissemination activities involve sharing project results to facilitate further use, typically by scientific peers, through various tools and channels such as journal publications, posters, websites, newsletters, and webinars. Exploitation activities include the use and application of project outcomes, for example, inventions, products, methods, prototypes, to enhance uptake by users who would benefit from these applications. This is often achieved through tools and channels such as patents, policy briefs, industrial designs, copyrights, and licensing agreements. Communication activities involve measures aimed at promoting the project's actions and results to inform and broaden its societal impact and reach the broader public. These activities are typically carried out through channels like social media, conventional media outlets, and promotional events. The European Commission expects you to have a clear idea and cover several areas, including your target audience, sometimes the timeline, key messages, tools, and channels for dissemination. Although it is not necessary to detail each of these components in your proposal, it will definitely help you if you address them thoroughly at the planning stage. We'll start by discussing each of these components in detail. And I prepared an Excel table that will help you in preparation for writing of this section. You can also download it from my Gumroad for free, and I'll link it in the description box. Let's look at this table and begin with the target audience. The target audience refers to the groups that will benefit from or be interested in your research findings. These include, as mentioned in the application guidelines, the scientific community, end users, financial stakeholders, and the general public, and also can include things like policymakers, NGOs, etc., etc. For example, if your research is on older adults, your target audience might include sociologists and demographers, NGOs who work with older populations, companies who serve older people, policymakers in health and aging sector, and the general public who are older people themselves or who take care of their older parents. Next, provide details on who specifically within these groups will be targeted and outline a clear timeline for your dissemination activities. This helps you with planning the scope and schedule of your dissemination effort. Among the target groups, you can go even more specific. So for instance, in my example in the table, I aim specifically at American demographers specializing on family caregiving. Now let's talk about key messages that you want to communicate. Your key messages should summarize the main findings of your research and their significance. These messages should be clear, concise, and tailored to each target audience. For instance, if your research findings suggest that there is a caregiver's penalty among high-sex women, your message to the scientific community might focus on the evidence of such penalty from the data that you have analyzed, while your message to policymakers might emphasize the potential for regulatory change regarding for better protection for family caregivers and especially for their flexible arrangements at work. The Tools and Channels sections outlines how you will disseminate your messages. This can include conference presentation, journal publications, books, poster presentations, and project websites, among many others. In the second tab of this table, you can find ideas for different channels that could be used, including newsletters, webinars, product launches, new processes, prototypes, patents, policy briefs, etc., etc. Be specific about what tools you will use and where. For example, you might plan to present your findings at major international conferences, such as in my example, the Population Association of America conference. Don't forget to fill in the table with the information about who can help you with your dissemination activities. Identifying potential collaborators or supporters adds credibility to your plan and shows that you have a network who can help you in disseminating the results of your research. For example, here I mentioned my co-authors, let's call them Dr. A and Dr. B, who might help in preparing the slides for the conference presentation and just in general contribute to the research itself. Here's an example how you might write this section. For the academic audiences, I will prepare 2 peer-reviewed papers which will be published in the leading journals in gerontology and sociology, such as the Journal of Population Aging and the Aging and Society. Additionally, I will participate in international conferences to communicate the results of my ongoing research, both in the form of oral and poster presentations. For instance, in the 8th month of the project, I will take part in the Population Association of America conference, where leading demographers and gerontologists meet annually. Now that we have covered the main component, let's go over some general tips for writing a compelling dissemination plan. 1. Be specific. Provide clear, concrete examples of your dissemination activities. Which conferences will you participate in, which journals you aim to publish in, which NGOs will partner with you, etc., etc. 2. Align with EU priorities. Ensure that your dissemination plan aligns with the European Union's priorities and policies, as well as includes European audiences within your dissemination and exploitation plans. It is generally advisable to include participation in events like the European Researchers' Night as one of the communication activities. 3. Involve professionals. This part of the application will greatly benefit from feedback from research officers in your hosting institution, especially those who specialize in research impact. Many big universities nowadays employ specific professionals who will assist academics in refining the research impact components of their applications. Find them in your hosting institution and ask for feedback and help. Now let's take a moment to recap what we have covered. We've discussed the main components of a dissemination plan: target audience, timeline, key messages, tools and channels, and who can help. We've also looked at key points to address in each area and provided examples to illustrate how to write compelling dissemination statements. I hope you found this video helpful. Remember, the dissemination, exploitation, and communication activities section is your opportunity to show the evaluators how you plan to make your research accessible and impactful. Take the time to craft a detailed and compelling section. If you have any questions or need further assistance, feel free to leave a comment below or join the Slack channel and reach out to me directly. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more tips on MSCA PF applications. Thanks for watching and good luck with your proposals.